Gerald Butts cashes in. I'm Brian Lilly with Rebel.media. How much money do you get paid not to work? Well, if your name is Gerald Butts, Principal Secretary to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, the answer is a lot. One hell of a lot. Many of you know that before he joined Justin Trudeau's campaign to be leader of the Liberal Party of Canada, Butts worked for former Ontario Premier Dalton McGuinty. He bragged about his influence on the environmental file with the Ontario Liberals. But did you know that in between screwing up Ontario with McGuinty and screwing up Canada with Trudeau, Gerald Butts served as president and CEO of the World Wildlife Fund of Canada? Butts was paid pretty well for doing his job. He was a true one-percenter, the kind of people he apparently hates based on the policies he endorses. Yet for all the lucre he pulled in as CEO of the WWF Canada, he earned enough to put himself in the 1% just from his severance. Yes, his severance. 2 years of severance, in fact, for a job he held for what? Maybe 4 years? Again, nice work if you can get it. Butts told supporters he was leaving the job on October 16th, 2012. You look at his statement, it was voluntary. I wanted to share with you directly that I'm leaving as president and CEO of WWF Canada. He wrote that it was hard to move on, but that he was going to. Now, you don't get to make statements like that, post them on the website if you're pushed out. This was voluntary. WWF Canada doesn't actually disclose salaries and compensation to their Canadian supporters and donors. Oddly enough, though, they do disclose them to the U.S. government. That's because of their activities in the United States, they have to fill in what's called a Form 990, and it details all kinds of compensation. Now remember, the figures I'm going to give you are for the U.S. government in U.S. dollars, not Canadian dollars, U.S. dollars. For his last full year as president and CEO, he pulled in $270,000 U.S. That's $259 base salary plus another $11,000 in other compensation. Now, as I said, Butts quit in October of 2012. He wasn't fired. He left to go work for his buddy Trudeau. So why then is he still listed as being paid a total of $175,000 US for the fiscal year that ended June 30th, 2014? That's almost 2 full years after he quit. And according to published reports, he was paid $186,000 US the previous year. So all told, he pocketed $361,000 US not to work for the World Wildlife Federation. Let's put that into Canadian dollars, shall we? Right now, $361 US works out to $467,000 Canadian, with the loonie sitting at about 77 cents. So imagine getting paid $467,000 not to work for 2 years from a charity, no less. I wonder if the donors to the WWF know that. They might be able to rationalize paying $270,000 US to attract top-notch talent to run the place, but how do you rationalize $467,000 Canadian for doing nothing? What was the rationale for such payments? These are questions for Butts and the WWF to answer. I've asked them some pointed questions, including if these payments were instituted to allow Jerry to go campaign for Trudeau. So far, I haven't heard back. WWF tells me they're working on it, and an email to Butts came with an out-of-office reply. That said, with such extraordinary payments, I think it's fair to ask if there was some kind of quid pro quo going on here. There's no reason to grant such lucrative payments to a former employee. Now, if that former employee were to have the ear of someone very powerful, maybe it would make sense. Butts left the WWF in mid-October 2012. He effectively ran Trudeau's campaign. In April 2013, Trudeau became leader and Butts became his right-hand man on the Hill. In October 2015, Trudeau won the election. Butts became his principal secretary and a very valuable partner with nearly $500,000 worth of a debt of gratitude to the WWF. Now, it's not that Jerry needs convincing. He's a true believer. He wants the same things they do. Less industry, a halt to pipelines. He wants to leave the oil in the ground. I think, though, that given the nature of these payments, given the person the payments went to, and the position he now holds and did since leaving, that both WWF and Butts owe the public some answers. Hiding behind privacy while also revealing these payments to the U.S. government, it just won't cut it. Claiming it's none of our business simply won't cut it either. One of the most powerful men in Canada, one who currently holds a lot of sway over Canadian public policy, he was paid nearly $500,000 not to work. I've heard of golden parachutes before, but 2 years of payments after 4 years of work, that's beyond unusual. The public has a right to know. If you like the Rebel video you just watched, make sure you never miss another one again. Click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you've already subscribed to the main channel, make sure you are subscribed to Rebel Canada, all the Trudeau news that the other guys don't see fit to print.